Hello my loyal companions, welcome back to the channel. Today's video I'm going to discuss SEEKER, the new rogue to rogue company that we've seen on the PTS server. I'm going to discuss whether I think he's going to be meta by the time he reaches live servers. If you do go on to enjoy the video or you just want to see daily, educational, rogue company content, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. But for now, let's get into it. So SEEKER is going to be joining Rogue Company as the new Intel Rogue with a really unique and really good ability, as well as a pretty dominating passive and a new weapon, the Sahara AR. I'm going to go through his kit and talk generally about what I think about him and whether I think he's going to be meta within Rogue Company compared to the other rogues that we have, especially coming into next patch with the tenacity nerf and other things to do with the economy changing so much. Let's firstly talk about his gun, the Sahara. It's brand new and has a very similar damage profile to the HRM 30KS. It's built for high damage and difficult handling, but the weapon actually performs really well. Its damage is really solid, dealing 24 damage as a body shot at the closest range and 30 to the head. It has a really good fire rate compared to the HRM, and honestly its bloom feels a lot less than something like the HRM. For me, I feel like this gun is an absolute beamer. I really love the way that it feels. I love how much damage you can do across the different ranges. I just think it handles really well for my personal playstyle. You know, I've been really getting into the 30KS recently on Dallas, and this gun feels very, very similar, if not even better. What I would say if you want to compare the two weapons though is if you are more accurate and you are more consistent, the HRM is better, because with 36 damage to the head on the HRM, it kills people in 3 shots, and if you're using the Sahara, it takes 4 shots to the head. So there is a time to kill difference there, but that will really depend on how consistent you are hitting headshots. If you match body shot for body shot, it's 5 shots per, and with the increased fire rate of the Sahara compared to the HRM, it's a better gun. Therefore, it really comes down to sort of personal preference and your own ability, and I would say that the Sahara is more average player friendly, whereas the HRM is there for those absolute crack players who can benefit from the increased damage to the head. His other weapon is the Aaron LT12, which is a DMR that originally was on Phantom before it got changed out, and now has come back into the game for SEEKER. This is a scoped DMR. What that means is that when you aim down sight, you're actually going into a first-person scoped perspective, very similar to a sniper, which I didn't think would actually happen. Its damage profile though is absolutely insane, dealing 32 body damage with a faster fire rate than the MXR, a bigger magazine size, better range, and generally the entire stats are better than the MXR and more in line with the old MXR before its nerf. The one caveat however is that it's scoped, and for some people that is a massive turnoff. For me, I don't mind it. I've always enjoyed scope weapons within this game. I thought the M4 was better with a scope in my personal opinion, and what it means is that it can offer to be able to hit a pretty good punch because you have the deficit of the scope in some people's eyes. So that a weapon actually beams, it's always beamed, it's actually in theory been the best DMR in terms of time to kill, but now that we have it sort of in the game again, I think it's going to really shine for those longer range maps such as Wynwood, Vice, or even Lockdown. All in all though, I think it is 2 great primary weapons that could be great pickups for anybody, whether you prefer the more automated style or whether you prefer the DMR playstyle. His biggest weak point is actually his pistol in my opinion. The A3 Salvo is a really weak pistol. It has good close range potential if you can hit only headshots, but beyond that, it's a pretty weak gun, and it only really works in the hands of Scorch, because she can use her ability, gain absolutely increased damage, in fact almost doubling the damage when you have it activated, and that makes the gun pretty good, but without it, it's actually a really weak pistol. What I only hope though is that they don't see it underperform so much, see how weak it is, and decide to buff it, because that will give a massive buff to Scorch's pistol as well, and that doesn't need changing. It's already really strong on Scorch. No need to buff it just because it's weak on other rogues. I think if anything, the pistol should be swapped out for something else, maybe a new design pistol. I don't think the Salvo is great though. I think you will suffer on pistol rounds, with the exception of how you use your gadgets and ability, which I'm going to go on to now. So the reason I don't think that SEEKER is going to be that bad in pistol rounds is because of his gadgets that offer him a lot of great utility and great pick potential. The first one is the sticky sensor, which I've been absolutely raving about on Phantom, because I think it's so great and offers so much zone control, because you don't know when you're being detected by it other than the audio cue it gives off, but has a massive reveal potential, and actually honestly is winning me games left, right and center when I'm using it in the right locations. Giving this on SEEKER, who is already an Intel Rogue playstyle, as we get onto when we talk about his ability, means that he's got so much reveal potential. He's actually really strong, and that is great for pistol rounds as well if you want to go down that playstyle. If not, you have the bounce grenade, which is not only amazing in itself because of its short few times after you bounce it off a wall, and great bounce off locations, offering it for a lot of dynamic sort of ranges and different locations you can throw compared to a frag grenade, but it also has increased damage due to his passive, which is absolutely insane. Seeker's passive is that any projectile that he throws that bounces off something will deal an increased 60% damage. What that means is that the bounce grenade goes from 100 damage to 160 damage, which will kill absolutely anybody, even those with tenacity in late game because of the new tenacity changes that are reducing its effectiveness. The only thing it won't kill is a shark with his overheal or somebody with tenacity and headstrong. But round 1 and pistol round, you don't have those, and the projectile bonus increased passive doesn't just work off of his bounce grenade. It also works off his ultimate ability, which we'll get into in just a second. Also works off a bat. If you bounce a bat off the wall, it will then projectile onto your enemy for increased damage, dealing 160. So there's no more, hey, my bat can't one tap. It absolutely can. It's just kind of hard to bounce it off a wall and get a kill with it at the same time. So let's go on to his main ability, which I absolutely love. The bow and arrows comes to Rogue Company, and with it comes a massive flight time, great bouncing off different objects, and good damage if you can hit it in certain ways, as well as a 7.5 meter radius reveal. What that means is from where the arrow is flying, it reveals someone to the 7.5 meters of its left and 7.5 meters to the right of it. That in total means it reveals a 15-meter flight path. This arrow is absolutely amazing, and I've loved it for reveal. The different angles you can bounce this off is incredible. You can reveal the entire team, even if they're split across the map, and in my mind I'm thinking of using it on other maps such as Icarus or Lockdown, and the potential of revealing every single member of the enemy team is so perfect with the right bounce from this ability. In terms of damage though, it's not orientated for damage, it's not meant to be hitting people, but if it does hit someone, it does 50 damage to the body, or it does 75 damage to the head. That is if you don't bounce it though. If you bounce it off of a wall because of its passive, it will actually deal 80 damage to the body and 120 to the head. So you can actually one-tap people if you get some nice shots off the head, although it's really difficult to bounce it off a wall and into somebody's head. And I've only seen it done a few times, particularly by Geo Royals. He's actually the only headshots I've seen bounced off of it, and he's actually slapping with it. In terms of his perk set, I actually don't think he has anything special. I think Life Drain is his best perk, but everything else doesn't really matter too much. He isn't very perk orientated. He's so much more about the utility, about the sticky sense, about the bounce grenade, and about that bow and the weapon upgrades. That's how I'm seeing him being played, and I think he works really well for this. In terms of his playstyle, I know that in Demolition he'll have his bow regenerate every 30 seconds, which is actually pretty strong. I imagine that will get nerfed to 45 like we've seen with Lancer and Scorch, but that reveal is incredible. The opportunities that it allows you to get, as well as the amount of reveal you get to get on the enemies, is insane. It's better than Talon Dart because it's, first of all, a fixed reveal, like a traditional reveal rather than a minimap reveal. And whilst it isn't infinite, it does reveal them for a good amount of time and has potential to reveal the entire team across some big area, depending on how you bounce that projectile. I see him being played at sort of mid-range, offering great intel with the sticky sensors, using the arrow to flush out if your team is pushing. I think he has great attack and defense playstyle, and I honestly see him competing with the likes of Dallas and Talon in that intel rogue. I think the difference between them, and honestly where Talon or Dallas might shine, is Talon is better at just getting a fixed location revealed permanently. Dallas is better for pick potential because you can reveal that one person and then send your team on them, a particular Lancer, get the Dallas snap and then a Lancer pushing them with the silent footsteps. But I think what Seeker's going to come into is more of a sort of team orientated, hey, we want to push this location, where should we do it? It's better than Talon because whilst Talon can reveal an area, he can't really get every corner, but with the massive sort of reveal radius of this arrow, you can pick up as many people as you can using a good bounce from it. I've seen a lot of people say the Seeker is just kind of meh, but honestly I don't think you've played enough with him. I think his weapons are insane if you're a good shot. The fact that he can kill anybody round one with that bounce grenade, and the fact that he can actually kill anybody pretty much at the later stages of the game as well if he upgrades it, or even doesn't in some situations, is absolutely insane. I think the potential for him is really, really good. I definitely see him being caught in almost every single comp. I've been asked a lot on stream while playing him, what rating would I give him? I would say he's pretty comfortably in the A tier, honestly. I don't think he's any lower than that for sure. I don't think he's quite S tier though. I don't know quite what would make him there. I'd have to see him in more games, more situations, and in demo. But I really think he's going to be a strong rogue coming into Rogue Company. I do think there's obvious counterplay and negatives to this rogue though, why I don't think he's OP or obviously S tier. I think APSs are a big counter to him being able to stop the projectile from the arrow, and being able to stop the bounce nades, obviously, which pretty much removes his entire ability and passive in just that. Also, the fact the ability doesn't do much damage is, in a way, a bit of a negative. I know a lot of people are asking for an instant headshot if you can put it off. and I was talking to Scott Gandy about this while we were playing, and he said, no, we didn't want that. We don't want it to be used as a weapon because people only use it there as a one-shot headshot weapon. And I really actually agree with this sentiment. I think that he is designed to be an intel rogue. We play him like an intel rogue, and if you get that clutch bounce nade headshot, then you deserve it. If not, he's an intel rogue, but you can do really good damage. 50 damage by not bouncing it off a wall is insane. Dealing 80 damage bounced off a wall will be able to earn you a kill pretty much every single time if you get lucky enough on the reveal to actually hit someone. It does collapse, by the way, I didn't mention that, but you can shoot it through multiple members and deal multiple bits of damage. But generally, I don't think this weapon should be used as a weapon. I do sometimes when I've been playing around, I do like to try and get the cheeky kill with it, or if you can get the no-scope headshot into a punch because it does 75 damage, then 30 for the punch. There's definitely flexibility with it and adaptability depending on how you want to play, but it is designed for that reveal. It should stay designed for that reveal, and the damage should not be increased to accommodate for instant kills with it. Honestly though, I've been having a lot of fun with Seeker, and I want to know what you guys have been thinking from seeing gameplay of Seeker, by playing it yourself on the PTS. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Seeker, whether you think he's balanced, whether you think he's OP, too weak, whether you just don't think he's that interesting. But I think he has such great potential, and if you guys trust my opinion on the meta and what I see happening, he's absolutely going to fit into it. He's absolutely going to slide into it, and I myself will be playing him a lot. I think he is probably more demo focused than necessarily strikeout focused. I think his weapon's obviously good enough for strikeout, but he's going to really excel in demo, where that reveal is going to be clutch at revealing multiple members of a team. And I really think he's got a great place. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. I want to have a great discussion with you about this new rogue. Okay then guys, that takes us to the end of the video, and if you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also come follow me on twitch.tv/RADTHARGAMING to see live gameplay commentaries, guides, Q&As, and playing with viewers. All the links you're going to need are down in the description below, but for now guys, I hope you have a fantastic day. And remember, be loyal, be brave, be relentless, and I'll catch you in the next video.